Hi everyone, we're now back from the drift event. Today went really well, no problems, managed to not break anything, so we're really happy about that. One thing I think we do have to have a look at though is we have some bogging on a really tight corner that's there, almost to a point where we have to clutch kick it to get it round. On the longer drifting corners, brilliant, no problem, we've got plenty of control on the throttle. When we put a foot down, the actual wheels will spin up faster, so we know we've got plenty of power there, but it's purely just on a real tight bend on there. The BMWs don't seem to have too much problem with that, so I think we need to have a look at their gearing. So we'll have a look on the internet, see what the BMWs are running, see what we're running. I do know we are on an M90 box. I'm pretty sure there's two M90s, one with a 2.0 second gear and a 2.4 second gear. Now I think the 2.4s are quite a rare box, so I definitely don't think we've got that. And we are on a 3.5 diff if I remember rightly when we locked it up. So again, we have got a few more axles available, so we need to get online, see what we got, see what the beams are running, and then hopefully we can work something out. Right, so I've just written it down, the calculations for the gearing. Beth, come here a minute.
What's that?
Right, that's what the BMWs are running. 2.4 second gear,
Yeah.
3.38 diff. We're running 2.0 second gear to a 3.5 diff. Yeah?
That's the one we locked.
That's the one we locked.
Yeah.
We're 750 revs down on the Volvo, on the BMW.
Is that why we're bogging on that really tight corner? Then,
Well, it could be, but it's certainly not helping.
Right.
So, I've worked it out that on a 2.0 second gear, if we put a 3.7 diff in, yeah, we're only 450 RPM away from the BMWs.
So a lot closer than we are now.
Yeah, but ideally, a 3.9 would be what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Which would be 200 RPM away. But I do also know the Volvo has got a 4.1, but I don't think we've got any chance of finding one of them at the minute. So we managed to find a 3.7 diff. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is going to put us 450 RPM away from the BMWs. I mean, we're only going by the BMWs just as a guide.
Well, they're quite common there, aren't they? And they all drift really well, so...
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at. Ideally, we've got a 3.9, but we've got a 3.7, so we're going to run with that.
So how come that can be higher than what we've got, but still revs more?
Because it's higher the number, the lower the gearing.
Yeah.
Because it's a 3.5 turns.
So that's why they've got
to
higher.
1. Yeah.
But how come they've got a higher diff ratio than us?
Because they've got a lot lower second gear.
What, in the gearbox?
Yeah.
Right. So that evens it out.
That evens it out.
And makes theirs still lower than ours.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
But it is quite often you find that you'll put the lower gearing at the engine end because it's then reducing the amount of work an engine will have to do. It's like a push bike.
Yeah.
You put the big cock at the front for the person's pedalling, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So
we're just doing it the opposite way around, but trying to achieve the same thing.
We're trying to achieve somewhere near what they've got.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the new axle we're going to be using. We've now got a, just to see that, 3.73 ratio, which should give us a little bit, or quite a bit lower gearing than the 3.5, which is what we currently have. So now locking this up, what I've done is I've just tacked the planet gears together. That is just to hold the planet gears in place. I like to leave my half shafts in as well, just to make sure that they don't misalign. And also I've cut out that centre pin that holds the planet gears. The reason why we do that is if we ever snap the end off a half shaft at the hub end, we can put a bar in from the other side and knock that out and knock the piece of bar out through there. Now if that bar was still in there, you wouldn't be able to knock that out because to knock it in from the other side, you would just hit that bar. So that is a good little trick to do that if you ever lock one of these diffs up. Right, so that's the next axle all welded up. As you can see, 4mm plate, or weld the planet gears up first, so weld them all to each other, and then weld the plating and join it all together. That then just locks the whole assembly into one unit. So that's now ready for drifting, so we now need to get that on the car and hopefully changing from a 3.7 to a 3.5. Hopefully we'll reduce the bog or eliminate the bog totally.
What? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah. So you might have noticed that we're doing the Volvo axle on the floor outside, which isn't really ideal, and we do have a ramp. However, we kind of have it a little bit tied up at the moment with our new project over here. So we have brought ourselves a Volvo 240, what is it, GL? Is it GL?
GL.
GL, yeah. So this is the, is it a 2 litre or 2.1?
2.1.
2.1 litre NA carved engine, which runs an absolute dream, doesn't it?
Starts on the key, soon as it's first turn.
It sounds gorgeous running, doesn't it? So at the minute we're just doing a little bit of welding on it, a little bit of body work.
And that's not being drifted, that's going back on the road.
No, yeah, this is a road project, not going on the track. It's too good to go on the track. So we're just spending a bit of time at the minute, just getting it all nice and solid, doing the body work on it. We've got a new bonnet, a new door. Still looking for a few bits for it, aren't we?
Yeah. So it has a coffin nose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite rare, isn't it?
Apparently so. Since we found out, since we needed a bonnet because it was really rusty.
And you had to go to the other end of the country near enough to get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what we're doing at the moment, another one of the projects, and this should be up for sale very soon.
So that's the axle off. Beth has now given that a coat of paint so we can get that ready to go back on. This one is the 3:5:4 ratio, and we're putting on a 3.7. So Beth is sitting on the floor, giving the new axle a bit of a spruce up.
It'd be a lot more fun doing this if you hadn't took my trestles away.
I've took your trestles away, haven't I?
I'll be sitting on the floor.
You won't be sitting on the floor. Looking good though. They look all nice under the back there. Another thing I'd just like to mention is we've just built a inlet plenum for a bigger turbo for the B230 engine. I've mentioned before in the videos that we're going to do a bigger engine build. Not too sure what sort of brake horsepower we're going to be getting, but we're hoping to be sort of 4, 5 or any more than that would be a bonus. So I've done an inlet plenum. This will allow more air generated from a larger turbo and hopefully should make quite a bit more power. Now I fabricated this all out of aluminium, laser cut flange plates. Really looked at this to give the best flow we possibly could, and including in there up here we've also bell mouthed all these pipes, so that'll help with getting the air into the cylinder. We did post it up online, did seem to have quite a bit of interest as well, so I never really thought about selling it at the time, but we now decided we'll probably put these up for sale. So if this is something you're interested in and you want to make your Volvo go a bit quicker, visit our link below in the description box and that'll take you to our online shop. You can purchase it from there. Okay, we just thought we'd just do a conclusion on the drift day that we'd done on Saturday. We had the 3.7 axle in because we couldn't find a 3.9, but overall I think that made quite a bit of a difference, don't you?
Oh, massive difference. Yeah, I think it's improved it loads.
Yeah, the revs just seem more. We get a lot more control now when you accelerate.
It doesn't bog down as much, does it?
No.
Especially on the tighter corners, like you said before.
Absolutely, yeah. I just think that's made so much difference. But when I first said about gearing, you did say to me, didn't you? Really?
I was a bit dubious, but I don't really know too much about gearing. So,
yeah.
I mean, with your stock car background, you know a lot more about it, and you've dealt with it a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
So your mind went straight to that.
Yeah. Gearing on the short ovals makes a massive difference. So I think just having that lower gearing on the back end, ideally we could do with a lower second gear for the M90. I have got a 2.4 ZF gearbox, which I might even put in because that is a common mod for the Volvos. So that might be something I'll do in the next few episodes. But
it's just a work in progress, isn't it? Trying different things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, seeing if we can just make it drift a little bit better. It's doing fine, isn't it?
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, but it's just getting it that little bit better. I think it's the competitiveness in us that just wants it to be right.
Yeah, and I think anybody who do decide to drift a Volvo is not straight out of the box ready to drift, not like a BMW is it?
No,
there is a lot of work got to be changed, a lot to be done, but I think that's part of the fun of it.
We like a challenge, don't we?
Yeah, and it looks awesome out there, doesn't it?
Definitely holds its own out there.
Definitely. So that's it for this episode. Like I say, massive improvement on before, so we're just going to keep moving forward now with it, carry on drifting, bring you guys along for the to watch, see how we get on.
Yeah, to laugh at us a little bit maybe.
Yeah, to laugh at us a bit more, but honestly, yeah, we're loving it, so we're just going to carry on with it as long as we're enjoying it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.